record. Okay, so just really quickly, so that way I re-say what I said before. We need to go in and for your poly 2 to, so that way you can run your hypothesis 1, which
Yeah.
is the, I wrote it down, the employment versus materials. You put this new column in here and that's just name the new column poly total, which I totally didn't spell correctly. Oh, poly, I think I meant to put poly 2 total, so that way it makes sense. But anyway, then, and that's the new column. So then what you do is you come in and you're going to do sum, and I mean, you can just copy and paste this, but basically what we're doing is we're summing up all the poly 2 answers. And then this gives us our total. So that way we can get averages based upon employment setting.
Okay.
Right? Because this is our total number. And then coming back over here to signs and symptoms. So we were just talking and saying that the way that this is divided up is into true and false. And we said that it'd be great to be able to recode the values, but the problem is it's just true and false. So if we did that, the same true and false numbers apply to all of the answers. So we can't really say if it's right or wrong. So instead, what we have to do is come in and make new columns for each one of these. So like S1, new column, S2, new column, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll just keep doing it all the way across. And then what we need to do is look and see. So it says abnormal sense of taste. Is this commonly a sign and symptom of concussion? And I think you already said no, which I would agree with. And so it should be false is the correct answer. False is 0. So that means all the zeros are actually ones, right? Because that's the correct answer. And then all the ones are zeros because those are the incorrect answer. They're not usually considered. Now, can it be? Sure. Is it commonly? No. So then, and that way we change all of these to match what they are. So you do the same thing for all of the signs and symptoms all the way across. And then we make this other new column that I made orange, which is SS total. And then what we'll do is we will add up all of the yellow columns. So if I keep adding in more columns, I'm just going to do this so that way it makes sense. Okay, so then when you go to add it up, you would do equals sum, and then you only click on the yellow ones, right? Well, and now they're going to be the blank ones, but they'll eventually be yellow.
What's going to be left for the day? I'll have no comments.
And then that will give you your total. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. Okay. So this number should hopefully be, I mean, a perfect score is what then?
20.
Yeah. Yep. So we're hoping that they say 20.
Yeah.
Is this one actually a 3? No, because we haven't put in their scores for all of the rest of these. And you won't have to necessarily copy and paste all of them in because again, it looks like 3, amnesia. So is amnesia typically a sign and symptom of concussion?
true.
Yeah, so
Yes.
this would be the right answer. So any of the columns where that is the correct answer, we just get to copy and paste
Mm-hmm.
what the people had.
Yeah.
And most likely, if you see all these ones,
Yeah.
these are going to be the ones that we do that. But now, and so that means even the zero should stay zero. So that makes these really easy.
Mhm.
And, you know, this one must be pretty obvious because almost everybody said
No.
false,
Yeah.
which means we basically can just copy and paste this one
Yeah.
and put it here and then just fix this one that they got wrong,
Perfect.
right?
Okay.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So
Mhm.
these ones, when they're kind of crazy like this, you're going to need to take it kind of more row by row.
Mhm.
But when everybody's saying the same thing,
Mhm.
you're just putting a one here
Mhm.
and dragging it down,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
Kind of thing. So don't make your life harder than it needs to be. I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have done that because I don't know for sure, but I feel like when the entire sample says the same thing,
Yeah.
it's probably the
You're
correct
right.
answer. Does that make sense what we're doing?
Yep. Perfectly.
Okay. So what else?
So for scenario question, that will be policy, no, actually, from S1 to S10 is going to be scenario question.
Yep.
So
Are these listed? How are these scored?
so it's supposed to be no, all of them. For no, it's going to be the answer.
No should be the answer for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But this also has scenario, but this isn't a scenario, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is,
How you feel comfortable.
yeah. And so then what I would do is, so we come out here
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to do insert scenario total. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just making up something, but you can make it whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so how would I add this up? What columns would I select?
Mm,
Don't make it harder.
from 1 to 10,
All of them?
or just one, like even one, or
Which ones?
1, 3, 5, 7,
Yeah.
9.
Yep, the odd ones, right?
That's one, yeah.
Because that's their actual score.
Mm-hmm.
So
Are we
when
not
they
using?
score these,
Mm-hmm.
is this good or bad to have a zero score?
0. I gotta go check.
Because my guess is,
Should be bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But are they really bad? So when you scored them,
Mm-hmm.
you said all the answers should be no, correct?
Yes.
So no's are really the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have no's being 0.
Okay.
So really, what should it be? If no is the right answer, what's going to make it easier for you in the long run?
No, it's gonna be 1.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if we just change this, and then we come here and we change this, then we can download it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then now the algorithm that we just made will work perfect.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So probably after this meeting, I'm gonna download again and use that.
Okay. And I'll re-download this for you. And I'm only changing this in the one that's with this is the NATA one, I think, that I'm in. So we'll still have to change it in the other one.
Oh, okay.
Sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because this one, this Hosaka Ruriko survey, this is the NATA one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we still need to change it in the other one.
Yeah.
Okay, but that will make this correct. So this algorithm will be correct once we re-download it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But-
for even number ones, are we comparing? Did we say are we comparing in discussion?
Sorry, I'm writing a note first.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, ask me the question again.
Are we using even numbers in discussion?
If you want to.
Okay. So we can just completely ignore that question too. If I didn't
2,
use
4,
it.
6, 8, 10. I mean, I don't know that we necessarily need to ignore them.
Uh-huh.
But I do think that it's interesting information to
Okay.
have as we look at this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So, you know, how confident did they feel in their scores? According to these recode values, yes is a 1, meaning that they feel confident,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
No is not, or yes is comfortable, no is not comfortable, and then 3 is somewhat comfortable.
Mhm.
So what score do we want everybody to have?
And I have to read. You feel comfortable returning. So no, we want to know answer.
Yeah, so we want them to have zeros
No.
in
Okay.
all of these because putting them back in is bad, right?
Yeah, so I also have to change that to
Looks like some of these aren't the same either. Some of them are 0, 1, 3. Some of them are 0, maybe 1, 2. So we need to get them all kind of shored up too.
okay.
I'll look at that. So,
Mm.
but does that make sense what I'm saying? Because no, if the answer is false, we shouldn't want to return anybody in any of these.
Mhm.
Then their answer, because for all of these, how comfortable would you feel returning the athlete to play? Or would you feel their answer should always be no,
Mhm.
no matter what, because they shouldn't want to return somebody.
Yeah.
But
So
if they have a number other than 0, that means they're like, maybe.
So if that's the case, if I change number, no is gonna be 0, and somehow comfortable is gonna be 1. Yes, it's gonna be probably 2.
Sure.
Okay.
Is that what you want to do? Because if that's what you're going to do, I need to change it on this one too. So tell me if that's what you want to do.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so recode values. So you would have, tell me again.
No is 0, somehow comfortable is 1, and yes, gonna be 2.
Okay. No is 0. Yes, 1. Okay, got it. Recode values. It's just easier if I do it while we're talking because otherwise I'm not going to do it. And then you're going to be like, I don't, all my numbers don't make sense. Okay. So that means no is 0. So everybody should have 0. Somewhat comfortable is 1, meaning, well, at least they knew better than to be excited about it.
Mhm.
And then 2 means yes, which is no. That's wrong answer, right?
Yep.
So the higher they get, the worse their score is. So what else?
The other one, I feel like that's
So you would do the same thing for these, right? That we talked about before.
Let's see number 1. Oh yeah. How often we have this? Actually, no, I guess we're not using it.
How is this one set up? Let me close this first. Here he goes. Policy 3. Always, often, sometimes, never. Okay.
We never, we don't have this in stats.
Okay. So recode values for this is never is 0, sometimes is 1, often is 2, always is 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we don't have stats for this one?
No.
Okay, then never mind. So then what else?
So that should be it for, yeah, that should be for the numbers.
What about this part? Good advice, poor advice?
Oh yeah. So that'll be, I will do the same thing.
Yep.
I make extra column.
Yep. For all of them like we did before, right? And then over here, you'll just put poly 5 total.
Okay.
And then add them all up based upon if they're correct or incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get your total.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this one's gonna be, should I make it wrong answer? I think when we talk about it, it's easier to see if it's wrong answer is higher. Wait. If it's right.
I would say if it's correct, just like we did for this one over here.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's correct, then they get a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And if their answer is incorrect, they get a 0.
Okay.
So we'll do the same thing over here.
Yeah.
If their answer is correct, they get a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And if their answer is incorrect, then they get a 0.
Yeah.
And some of these look like everybody agrees. Oh, no, not quite everybody agrees, but some of them are very solid, but then we have a lot of them like this, where people
Yeah.
kind of, maybe, I don't know. And then we have like these random people, like this one random person here who went against the grain.
Yeah.
Or this like 1 or 2 people who do the same thing. So, again, I think that this will be pretty straightforward,
Mm-hmm.
but we just need to make sure that, pardon me, we're doing the same thing where correct answer.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if the correct answer was poor advice or good advice. It just matters, did they give the correct answer or not?
Mm-hmm.
And then if they gave the correct answer, they get a 1.
Yeah.
And if they gave the incorrect answer, they get a 0.
Okay.
Because highest is best.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And so then what you're going to do when I send you this is what? Because you need these answers too, right?
Years of experience and employment setting.
Yep. So you need all of them. So what you're going to do is, I would set up this one first or that one. It doesn't matter. Put in all of your extra columns because you need to make sure that if this one ends at column FK, that the one that you have also ends in column FK. Because otherwise, if you copy all of these rows and try to paste them onto your other one and the columns don't mess up, your results are going to get totally jacked.
Oh. Okay.
Because you're going to need, like, you don't want to analyze them separately. You need to put them all on the same spreadsheet.
I'm a little bit confused. Did you say, so I have to keep those all the
So
poly?
you have, right now I'm using the data from this one that you can't
Yes.
get, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you are currently looking at the data from, give me a second.
The one I have.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why is it not getting me there? Anyway, let me come back here. So this one, the 96 one, right?
Yeah.
So we can't just merge them.
Mhm.
So what you're going to do is you're going to take the data from the one that you have,
Mhm.
and you're going to take the data from this one that I'm going to send you.
Yeah.
And you need to make sure that like this one has SS18 is
Mhm.
in column CT,
Mhm.
and S7 is in DG, and poly 3_1_3 is in DY.
Mhm.
And the very last column, poly 5 total, is in FK. Okay.
Yeah.
Then on the one that you have, you need to make sure that all of these are in the exact same columns. Because otherwise, when you do copy paste, because you're going to copy all the stuff that's on this spreadsheet and put it at the bottom
Oh,
of the
yeah.
spreadsheet you're looking at,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if your columns, if these columns don't line up with those columns, you're going to be completely messed up.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you this one that's edited, so
Mhm.
that way you can see what I did.
Mhm.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an original
Mhm.
that doesn't have anything added on it. And I
Mhm.
recommend that after we switch the answers and then we download them again, that you merge them before you start adding all of these columns.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if you add one column on one and not on the other, the rest of your data is going to be off a column.
Yeah.
And so it's just easier to add the columns after all the data is on the same spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Does that make
Got
more
it.
sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'll send you this one so you can see what I did.
Mhm.
But the one that I send you, it'll be called updated.
Mhm.
That's the one that has the data after I fixed all the numbers.
Okay.
Okay. What other questions?
I think so. I try to run stats, but
Uh-huh.
and I think I learned the basic stuff. So I'll be probably gonna be okay once I make the data simple.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run as soon as possible, and then if I have question about that, I will ask a question. But other thing is, for example, the first two participation in my data, they seem like they can't speak English fluently, so they skipped all the answers. So they withdraw it. I think that's not the one I might.
Yeah. On
Some
these
people.
were all
Oh yeah.
pulled out. But also it's possible, Ruriko,
Mm-hmm.
that these might be like me. Because I was having to go through and pilot test some of the stuff to see if it actually worked. So my guess is, yeah, like I did this
Mm-hmm.
and published it, and then people did it multiple days later. So these first three on mine, see how it says 3/8?
Yeah.
She didn't release it. 3/15 is the first day that the NATA sent it out. So these first three, these 3/8 are me pilot testing it.
Okay.
So we'll just straight up delete them out. Like,
Okay.
don't even include them on there.
Okay.
And then I'm assuming on yours, there's a couple that are the same way.
Yeah.
Because I pilot tested some of the one like on the main one as well. Because I wanted to make sure like our skip logic worked or that kind of thing.
Yeah. Actually, right after I published the first one, well, which one was it? Oh, distribution poly number 2 question.
Uh-huh.
I made them only click like yes or no, only yes. So some of them click all of them. And my friend texts me something's wrong with that question, so I fixed it like 30 minutes later. So I might need to delete some of the question at the beginning, some of the answers at the beginning.
Okay. But you got it fixed?
Yeah, I got it fixed.
Okay. Well, show it to me once you get it. And then here,
Mhm.
actually, let me just do this. Then you can show, do you have it open right now?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, hold on. So let me do stop share. Then I'm gonna do participants. No, I don't want to invite participants. I want,
Actually,
all right, you're a co-host. Show me your stuff. So now you can share your screen.
mhm. Why? I need to a little bit change my setting. I download the new version, so whenever I use new stuff, ask me to change setting.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So that'll be 45.
So I would open the Excel file.
Yeah, this one kind of looks different when I download it. Let's see. Oh, so those are the one.
Did not let you
So
open it?
yeah, so those poly 2 is the one, the way you like distribution
Oh.
method, and I believe those are the people have to collect all of the yes.
Hold
probably
on. I think you shared, so what all I can see on your screen is
Mhm.
the what do you call it? The finder.
Oh, oh. Um,
So minimize your finder. There you go. Okay, now I can see. Thanks.
okay. So this is a poly 2,
Uh-huh.
and I believe those are the people, or probably this person too. Maybe not. Yeah, those are the only people, but those 4 people have to click all of yes, because there's only, for some reason, there's only yes choice.
Huh.
There's not no choice.
Got it.
So those 4 people have to click all of them to go pass through.
Ah, now I see. So how are there some twos? How are there twos and yeses? And threes? I don't
Sure.
understand. How's that a thing?
I am not sure. I will. Wait, it's 2 only yes. So when,
Go ahead.
so I changed it, I fixed it, but now I came back, there's only yes answers.
Say it again.
So in the policy 2 question,
Uh-huh.
I actually, before I published it, I make sure they have yes and no answers, but after published, no answer disappeared and there's only yes question. And then I came back and fixed it. But now again, there's only yes question. So might be this question might be all messed up.
So, but they should have only had to put yes. Right? Like they don't have to,
Oh yeah.
they only have to mark the ones that they want to mark.
Oh, that is true. Oh, actually, no, that's not the one. I have to fix.
Or is there a different one? Am I on the wrong one?
I think
Because this is the same way. And they only had to select yes on these.
I'm not sure. Just I guess answer all. Oh yeah, so I think they have, the first setting was answer all of them, and there's only yes choice. So they have to click all of yes, but I fix it to multiple answer. I
For
didn't,
this one for poly 2.
yeah.
Because this one is allow one answer.
Which one?
This one, and that one went through fine. And then this one is allow multiple answers. So when you pilot tested this, did it work?
Yeah, it didn't work.
Okay. Let me see the other one. So what one is this? Poly 2? Poly what one?
Poly 2.
So this one is set up, allow multiple answers for poly 2. And it works fine here. And poly 3 and poly 4. So the allow multiple answers seems to be what works, because I don't know why it's different, but on the one that I did, they didn't have to select everything. So the 40 that I have, their stuff's, they only selected what they actually did. They didn't have to select extra stuff. So the single answers, yeah. So allow one answer, that's not how it should be set up. It should be allow multiple answers. I just changed it. Because otherwise, yeah. So probably your data for that question, poly 2 on yours, they're going to be all messed up. Up until right now, anyway. Because show me your answers for poly 4. Are you still sharing your screen with me? It doesn't look
No,
like.
I just stopped it. You want to see the Excel sheet?
Yeah. So poly 2. These are all yeses. Then it comes down. So scroll down more. Okay, keep scrolling. I don't understand what this 3 and 2 and all that is. Because your stuff for poly 4 looks like it's right? Because they have yeses and nos in poly 4. Or they don't have nos, but they only selected what was there for that.
I guess, yeah.
I have no idea what those numbers mean. Do you?
I can't figure it out. Well, then here seems like it's working out from here.
I'm wondering if,
Oh. They all skip the rest.
you know, I bet they skipped.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say I don't know why they skipped. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. So when you download the data, it looks like when you did it this time, you selected the word answers. You need to select the
Number.
numeric.
Numeric. Yeah.
Because that way we can add them up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe, I guess, do you know when you switched it?
They were not yet. There's layers on maternity leave and judgment of leftover for
I was thinking maybe there's a date away.
The date's all the way on the left. You can just open up the start date. Just make it wider.
So should be,
And some of those might be us at the top too.
not sure when I started it. Oh yeah, so those are not mine. And so at least, let me check my email, when my friends text me.
Because I know one of my past students messaged me and said she's she's working in college.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is she's probably row 7.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, ish, because she did it that first day.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, hey, I can only answer yes for this question.
Okay.
And she was like, I just submitted it anyway. She's like, it wouldn't let me like do anything else. So I hope it's okay. But she gave me what her answers were.
So
You
seems
think
like
it's
it took me. My friend texts me like 10, like right before 10.
Uh-huh.
So all those answers gonna be not right, and I fixed it like 10:5. So from here to down should be fine.
Okay. So 14 is probably your friend or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Because if they completed it at 10:17.
Oh, this completion date time.
Yeah. Because some of these are no's and yeses. And then poly 222. So it was fixed for row 14 and then it went back again for row 15.
I might so when I tried, my friends have to reopen with different device because she already logged in as one per they
Yeah.
don't allow you to use different.
Yeah. You can't ballot
Yeah.
ballot stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the 2s are blanks. They left it blank and then just hit submit anyway because they wanted to,
Yeah.
they didn't want to select it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was trying to make them.
Yeah.
So I bet the numbers are blank answers.
Okay.
So just where it says yes is where we'll count stuff.
Okay.
Because my person who sent stuff in, I think said that she's like, I just didn't do it. Like I just hit submit without marking that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that's what all those numbers are they're supposed to be no's.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the case. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that's the only thing that I can come up with because I don't know why in the hell that there would be.
And from
Number.
here, it's working.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah. Okay. So if this is the case, can I push as number is blank? So that's no. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
I believe that's it for now.
Okay. So in that case, I will re-download this and send it to you
Okay.
with the new scores on it. So I'll send you the one that that has the edits on it.
Mhm.
But just remember that that's not the one to use. And then I'll send you the edited one.
Yeah.
And that's the one that you're going to want to use. So pull those numbers off first.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay. Good job.
Thank you so much. So for the one I sent like 3-4 days ago for the chapter 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just ignore it.
No, I mean for the chapter 4, it's a method section.
So which?
Which one is it?
I added some of the sections in chapter 3 and added methods in chapter 4.
Yeah.
What about it?
Should I just do? Is there anything I need to fix for
I
those?
haven't read it yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. This is a priority I wanted to ask. So anyway.
Yeah. No, this is by far and away way more important. So I'll look at the other stuff and then I'll send you any edits that I think need to be made. But honestly, for chapter 4, it's this part, like the results part and the methods, like that's really important. So making sure that we get this stuff all squared away, I think is
Yeah.
more important than worrying so
Yeah.
much about your intro. But I'll look at your intro and stuff and then let you know.
Okay. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna practice the SPSS, but should I wait till the end of the March, or should I already start?
Oh yeah. Yep. To run your statistics, yeah, you can't wait that long.
Okay.
Like make sure I would get your stuff done and start running it, because you want to make sure that you know how to do it. And the chances of us getting a ton of more people aren't really that great.
Yeah.
So that way you can already know, like we can in general kind of start writing your results section.
Okay.
And at least like start making the outline for your tables. So if we have to have tables and figures, what are they going to look like? What are the columns and rows going to have in them? Stuff like that. Because even if we don't put the numbers in there yet, we can at least have the grid ready to put the numbers in, which makes your life way easier.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that
Sounds
make sense?
So I will definitely run stats today after the office hours over.
Yep.
And do you want me to redo it after so like April 1st or something? Because
yeah. Like we'll want to make sure we get all
Okay.
of the final stuff in, but I want you to get like practice. So like once a week, re-download the stuff and be like, okay, what does it look like? Does it look the same? Have more people done it? Because the more you clean it, like you're gonna find things that are messed up, like, oh, I need to delete out these rows, or I need to do whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's just easier to know that ahead of time. And then you just copy and paste the new rows at the bottom of your spreadsheet.
Actually, last question. So like we saw, some people just keep like most of the answers, most of the questions, like maybe like 30 people in my data. Are we deleting those people? So because we said at least if that person answered 1 or 2 question, we include it.
Okay.
So
it
I
depends.
guess, yeah.
If did they answer enough questions that allow us to include them in the analyses? But if they only answered like the demographics questions at the beginning, but they didn't answer signs and symptoms or any of these poly numbers or anything like that, can we include them in the analyses?
No.
No, because we can't actually run anything because they didn't give us any information besides demographics.
Yeah. Okay.
So if we only get demographics, then we exclude them, but we need to report, Ruriko. So don't just willy-nilly delete people out. We need to report how many people consented. So how many people said yes, then how many people completed enough questions to be included. And I would also include how many people completed the entire survey.
Okay.
Because those are all different numbers, right? Like this many people consented, but some people got like 2 questions in and then stopped. Well, those people are going to be deleted from everything. So that automatically drops our numbers down.
Yeah.
And then some people maybe completed all the way through signs and symptoms and scenarios and then stopped. Well, they can be included in the signs and symptoms and scenarios analyses, but they can't be included in any of these poly ones, right?
Yes.
So that's what I mean. Like we need to be honest about what they did and didn't do.
Okay. So we have to like say this answer, how many people answered this question.
How many total people consented, and then how many people completed each of the, not each of the like questions as in column CW, CX, CY, CZ, but how many completed like employment versus materials. How many people could we include in that analysis?
So
because
each
they completed the employment question, and the materials questions.
Okay.
And hopefully that's everybody,
Mhm.
but it might not be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. And we would do that for each one of the analyses that we're going to run.
Okay.
And it'll tell us, because it'll say when you go to run a t-test or an ANOVA or a logistic regression or linear regression or whatever, it'll say n equals blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So
Also,
you'll automatically know how many people were included in each analysis.
okay. Okay. So one more question. I'm so sorry. So that each question, if I find those people didn't answer any of the question, I will count how many people was it, but I won't include it in the stats, or I'm gonna.
Or the demographics or descriptives or any of that stuff. Because if they only completed the demographics questions, we don't want to include them.
Yeah.
We would just say, we would include them in the total count of people who consented.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like so say we end up with 200 people
Mm-hmm.
that complete at least through part of the demographics.
Yeah.
And so we say like 50% were college and 50% were high school. So 100 and 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
We report their years and all that for all 200 people.
Mm-hmm.
But say only 75 of those people,
Mm-hmm.
or not 75, 150 of those people,
Mm-hmm.
so 75 each, did the employment versus materials question.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of the Poly 2 question, 50 were high school and 125 were college. So like as we do it, it's going to be uneven.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's not how it'll work. But do you see what I'm saying? So if we include the 50 that, say we said it was 200 people completed it, and we report all the demographics, but really 100 people were high school and only 50 were college, because the other 50 college people didn't fill out the whole entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're misrepresenting, because we have twice as many high school completed surveys as we do college.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure that we're being honest about what our division is.
Yeah.
So we would say 200 people were consented, 150 people completed the survey. 50% of the people who did not complete the survey to fruition were college. So one of the things we would talk about in the discussion is that maybe there's something about college athletic trainers that makes them not want to complete surveys. Or something like that, because like half of them dropped out. Like that sucks.
Yeah. What
So
about
we
the
want to say our
people?
groups weren't quite even because of that.
Mhm. What about the people who partially answers?
For those, we'll just have to report for each question how many people completed each question.
Okay.
And again, not each column,
Mm-hmm.
but like
Each
Poly
portion.
2, how many people could we use their answers for Poly 2
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Okay.
And if they didn't do the employment, well, they can't be included, period. Because basically the people needed to have completed the demographics. Otherwise, it'll be rough to include them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Unless there's questions where we don't really need all of the demographics. Are there any demographic questions that we really don't need to know everything?
Mm-hmm.
Does that exist?
I don't think I saw anybody.
Okay, well, that's good. Okay. Yeah, most people usually get through the demographics. It's after the demographics that things get spotty. So, alrighty.
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, if you have more questions, just let me know.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, and I'll send you the video.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, actually,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
having meeting next week, correct?
correct.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.